Hello everybody and welcome back to Breeding Positivity's Daily Tip Explainer video. Today's tip: fortune favors the bold. As business owners, within challenging times and times of change, we need to find a new direction. We need to be bold enough to reroute our business while still keeping our destination in mind. A business is like an aeroplane. We took off from one position and are on a flight to a destination, and that destination is our vision. While in the air, we are refueling, building, and recruiting. Some businesses are structured to work on autopilot, while others require us to be in control of the aircraft. Every now and then, we hit turbulence, and we need to be in control of that aircraft and what it is doing. There's also constant air traffic noise, such as competitors, what the market is doing, that we need to be constantly aware of. Otherwise, we will find ourselves on a collision path. Each of our aircrafts are different in the shape, design, model, capacity, and range. Hence, like with any aircraft, as the pilot of this business, we need to plot our journey accordingly. However, without a clear vision, planning can be non-existent, and we often find ourselves taking off and doing landings continuously or moving in circles to stay within our comfort zone. To be bold requires us to know our direction and where we are headed, and that all starts with having a vision of where we want the business to get to within a particular time frame. And this will then give us an indication of the resources we would need, as well as when and where we will need to upgrade our aircraft. Without a vision, boldness comes in the way of survival, like selling masks or sanitizers to bring in short-term cash flow. But that doesn't allow us to navigate the enormous storm, COVID-19, we all see ourselves in. The boldness I'm referring to allows us to continue our core business while navigating around that storm. Over the last few weeks, I've heard many stories of people going into non-core related businesses, such as selling masks and sanitizers, to keep cash flow coming in, or to just cash in on the opportunity. And yes, it did work for many, but for many others, as I've heard, they have taken a beating as the prices for these products started coming down and stabilizing, which now means that they are actually in a worse off position than when they entered the storm. With the core of our business requires us to focus and redirect our energy and resources so that our core business can continue to its destination. Being bold means that we need to take hold of the yoke to control our aircraft and navigate the storm, either coming out unscathed or scathed to an extent that we can fix. Being bold and navigating this current storm we are facing allows us to be better prepared for the next one. So how do I reroute? Well, the first step is to understand what our strengths and weaknesses are. We need to review what we're good at and what reliable resources we have available. Rather than trying to get new resources, we need to work with what we have and make it happen. I recently received a quote from an unknown author, and it says, "We are only in real trouble when we run out of ideas and plans and not money." As we know in business, turning less money more times in our business gives us a better return on investment. Once we understand what resources and strengths we have, we need to look at new ways of reaching out to our target market by understanding their new needs and wants. I know I've been repeating this in previous posts, but reinforcing this concept is important to understand how to refocus our business. While we are certain to an extent about the impact of COVID-19, we are quite uncertain about the implications in the terms of the way our governments are dealing with this, such as the lockdown, as many of us are experiencing. However, that does not mean we cannot have goals in place that are flexible and allows us to maneuver around this. As we know, all storms are constantly moving and reforming, and we cannot stand still hoping that it will pass us. Once we have reviewed and put new goals in place, we need to start implementing in a cost-efficient and lean way, always learning and adjusting. And as we move forward, and eventually we will be out of the storm and see the brightness of the sun and the blue sky ahead of us. For those of us that have been building our businesses over years, we have acquired knowledge and skills within a particular sector or industry, and we need to use that knowledge with the new knowledge we acquire to reroute our aircraft and find the path of least resistance. Easier said than done, I understand. But again, history has shown us that those who are resilient, those who are bold and redirect the energy of their fear are able to weather any storm. Stanford economist Paul Romer once said, "A crisis is a terrible thing to waste, as a crisis allows us to find new and creative ways and opportunities to do things we could not do before." Take for example Airbnb. In 2007, Joe Gebbia and Brian Chesky moved from New York to San Francisco to look for an opportunity. With no work and no income, the two were under extreme pressure to find new opportunities to be able to earn some rent money. They noticed that all the hotel rooms in the city were booked due to a conference, and they saw this as an opportunity to buy some air mattresses and sell sleeping space. The idea worked, and they managed to get their first 3 paying guests. However, the business was not an immediate success, and it wasn't until the Great Recession of the late 2000s were they able to spot an opportunity to reroute their business from shared space to listing all types of accommodation. And as we know, the rest is history. Airbnb has over 2 million listings in over 34,000 cities across the globe, with a valuation estimate at close to $25 billion. So, as business owners, we need to be bold enough to be able to reroute our business while still staying focused on our vision, and fortune will be in our favor. And this will allow us to stay positive, stay relevant, survive, and thrive.